Because as the American people, you have to be prepared for this union. It's coming to you too. Not just the union of 50 states in the United States of America. Will be not a long time from now when United States of America going to merge with the European Union. Maybe some of you will consider I'm crazy. This never will happen. I know it's going to happen. Don't ask me how I know. I can tell you. There is in my church ex-KGB general. He is the one who sent me in prison 13 times. He is the one who arrested me many times. Finally, 9 years ago, he came to be follower of Jesus Christ. It was difficult for me to accept him as a brother. God helped me to do it. He is not anymore general, he is retired. He still connects with people who know what is going on in the world. I'm not going to speak more of that. I'm going to share with you what happened with me, I believe 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I got a call from the office of our Prime Minister. And the position of our Prime Minister is like your president. We do have president too. He's just official as a queen in England. I've been called to the Bulgarian government many times as a leader of the fellowship in Bulgaria, but never been called to the office of the Prime Minister. I know him before he came to this position. He was mayor of the city, the capital city. I have visited him as a mayor. When I came to his office, there was more people than him. And I say, well, it's a great privilege to be invited to your office, sir. Let me know what is the reason. And his explanation was, he called me in this official meeting because of the request of the European Union. Well, let me know what is. The Prime Minister started to talk and say the European Union was so concerned about the peace in the world. And I learned from the Bible to be careful when the officials start to talk about the peace. Because Jesus told to his disciples, when the whole officials, all the world talks about peace and say peace, peace, what is going to be? Destruction. And they say because they see the terrorism in the world, they see problems, many nations fight with each other. They decide to search and find what is the problem. And their final decision or result of all this research is because the religious diversity in the world. And I say to the Prime Minister, sir, you want me to believe this? You know, I'm a believer, but I don't believe everything. He and the other officials who was there, they start laughing and say, well, we don't want to press you to believe, but that's what the European officials discover. I say, sir, you know, all these problems are just for two things, control and money. Anyway, they explained to me, in order to solve this problem around the world, the European Union decided to fix and start a religious union around the world. I say, what this means? This union was already been registered in Brussels under the authority of the European Union. So, well, any time when we have some kind of official organization supposed to be by law for this this official organization. Did you have it? They say, oh yes, we can give it to you a copy. And they gave it to me. Usually when I see some bylaw, it's a lot of pages. This bylaw is just with 2 pages. And they call bylaw of agreement. They say, what is this name? Because the request from the European Union is each one country to ask the leaders of the religious group. I see what is, but let me ask you a question. Why I don't see the other religious leaders from my country? We know each other. There is different religious groups. They start to laugh again, and the Prime Minister says, we called them last week. And all of them was here. Say, why you call me separate? Why you don't call me with them? Who you are. We know your disagreement on the past with the communists. We don't expect you to sign this statement, to sign this bylaw. That's the reason we call you alone. Because if we call you with the other leaders, you will be not silenced. You're going to talk to them, even in my office. And some of them will not sign it. Now all of them sign it. I say, can I see their signatures? I say, yes. On the back sheet was the copy of their signatures. I recognize their name, I know them. And what was surprise for me, not just the evangelicals, not just any kind of Christian groups, even the Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, Catholics, the Jewish society, the rabbi of the Jewish society in my country signed it, and the Muslim high priest, high imam, he signed it too. Putting together all these religions in the world and ask for appreciation to each one. Not personal appreciation to the people as human beings, but appreciation to their faith, their religion, their God. A few days later, I spoke with some of the Christian leaders. I say, why you sign it? They say, because if we don't sign, they'll consider us as a sect and cult. And I told to the Prime Minister, you told me you don't expect me to sign it. I will not sign it. You're right. He says, we cannot press you. It's up to you. What is going to be the punishment? I ask. And Prime Minister says, right now will be nothing. Right? It's no long time to explain to you, but in Europe, the European Union already set up a new religious union last year. And they asked all European countries who are members in European Union to sign agreement for this union, including all religious, Buddhists, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, non-Pentecostals, Pentecostals, Catholics, Eastern Orthodox, Jewish, and Muslims put in together. And my government present to me, we refused to sign it because they told me everybody else signed it in my country, all leaders of the religious groups. We refused to sign it. I say, what is going to be the punishment? Yeah, right. And they say, right now, nothing. But in 3 days, since I report, 2 church buildings was been set in fire and burned out. And these churches buildings belongs to the ex-Muslim people. And the buildings are in the middle of the Muslim society. The government do not persecute us officially, but they're using the Muslims who are unhappy because their people come to be apostolics. And they're using them to burn the buildings. I visit these churches. I visit these cities. I spoke with the officials of the city, spoke with the police department, spoke with the fire department. We can find it who did it. I spoke with the pastors and the church people. They say, we know who did it. But nobody can prove it. It's sure they protect him.